Hey, so this is divorce log number 8, I believe, and I'm not doing so great. I'm having very intrusive thoughts. I'm feeling like it's just not worth living anymore. Like, what's the point? But it's not. They're stupid, horrible thoughts that I just fighting and disagreeing with. It's like, why am I having these thoughts? They're wrong. I was just thinking of all these ways I could just end things. Overdose on pills, or jump in front of a train, or it's just stuff that is stupid. Why is my brain thinking that? I just want these thoughts to stop. It's not worth it. It's either way. I mean, if I were to just die or get deported, it's just gonna ruin my kid's life. And that's what I don't understand about what Terry's doing. Is so she's filed for child support already. So I mean, we know what she wants. She just wants money. But if I get deported, or if something happened to me, everything's in my name. So she wouldn't be able to pay for the house. She wouldn't be able to sell the house. She wouldn't be able to sell the vehicles. It would all be in my name. So if I'm deported, it would just all be repoed and repossessed, and all the equity and everything would be lost. And with me not being in the country, there would be no child support, no alimony, there would be nothing. And I'd have no option, and I'd have no power in anything, and she'd have 3 kids to take care of with no real job history, no ability to live anywhere, and it just ruined. It'd be horrible for the kid's life. So I don't know what she's thinking. I kind of think she's not thinking. She just wants to go and screw a bunch of men because married life is boring. Well, it's gonna be pretty fucking boring when you don't even know if you're gonna get any freaking food unless you get it from the state, because you freaking, that's all you can do. I mean, my therapist said it was in my best interest to just get it out when I can, when nobody's around, how I'm feeling. And so I was just saying how much I fucking hate her. I fucking hate her. I've always spent my whole life trying to make people around me happy and like me. It's always been the thing. The few people that I've known, the few people that I've had around me, I've always tried my damnedest to do everything to make them like me. And then there's always this one stupid thing that happens. Like I get to a point of feeling like I'm giving too much and that I deserve something in return. And the other person disagrees because their free ride is over, and suddenly they hate me, and it fucking pisses me off. For the first 7 or 8 years of our fucking marriage, I was paying for her, and I was paying for her son that is not biologically mine. I cared for him like he was my own. I paid for everything for him, and I cared for him, all this stuff. But now she's trying to make the case that she was just a homemaker all this time, and she owed all this money from being a stay-at-home mom. Well, she was a fucking stay-at-home mom for her own kid that wasn't even mine or my responsibility, and I took that responsibility on and cared for him. I even then adopted him because I cared for him so much. And then I kept that secret until my dad gave it away. And then my son was like kind of surprised and fine with it. I mean, he didn't take it poorly. I didn't know what to think because I'm getting blamed for so much shit. Like, she's blaming me for not being able to call the kids when I have done absolutely nothing to prevent it. The phone she's calling is on her phone plan. Maybe she shouldn't be such a fucking idiot. Seriously, like, I was doing so much. I was pulling up all the slack that she was leaving behind because she was doing so much work, even though she wasn't always at work, and she was going and helping grandma, even though she was using that time to go screw people, and she was doing all this lying and cheating and all this shit, and she was just fucking using me for everything, and I was just giving and giving and giving and giving, and then when I finally fucking had it, when I was like, screw this, I am worth more than just being a used piece of shit on the bottom of your shoe, because you just think that you can have it all. You can have a husband who's sitting here at home taking care of the kids and paying all the bills and keeping the kids safe and keeping the house running and getting everything addressed that needs to be addressed and fixing your fucking tire when you get a fucking flat in the 4 in the morning and fucking making sure everything's rolling, ordering all the Christmas presents, planning all the holidays, fucking doing goddamn every fucking thing, picking up all this slack. And you're fucking going around, screwing around, cheating and lying and being a whore, a fucking slut. And then I finally have it and I say I'm fucking sick of it and I'm done with it, and then it's like, oh, he's such an asshole because he won't do this for me anymore. He won't let me keep using him and abusing him. Well, fuck you, woman. I would always try to talk to her. I'd always try to have conversations with her. I'd always try to resolve issues with her constantly, all the fucking time. And she would just never fucking communicate. She's always this person to make these grand plans and plan out this whole scheme of what she's going to do. And then as soon as that plan is about to start and everything's in action to roll, she would just fuck it up and give up. Look at her college. She'd schedule 4 classes in a semester, which is a lot for anyone. Especially the classes she was picking, like chemistry and math classes and all this shit all in one semester. I mean, when I took college, I tested out of tons of classes, and I did really well in college, graduating magna cum laude, and when I took fucking 4 classes in a semester, I was fucking miserable. It was so fucking difficult and overwhelming. Here's a person who can't even pass barely 1 class in a semester. And so I said to her, well, I mean, based on your history of college before and how you would always have difficulty with having too many classes and you wouldn't pass them all, maybe taking 4 classes right from the start is a bad idea. Well, she thought, I'll just take 4 classes every semester and get done in 3 semesters. Yeah, that would be great if, like, you could actually do that. But based on the history of the $70,000 worth of fucking student loans you have, that you've never been able to do that. And you've not been in college for a while, so you should just ease into it slowly. But no, when I would say, well, maybe you should, ease into it slowly. No, you just don't think I can do it. Well, you fucking dropped 3 of the classes and claim you passed 1 of them. So who the fuck was right? Me. Because I'm realistic and responsible. So this current plan she was devising, getting a job and fucking getting away from me, is going to fucking fail. Maybe one of these stupid fucking boyfriends will take her in temporarily or whatever, but once they fucking get sick of her and start realizing what she's fucking like to live with, it's all gonna fucking go downhill. Once she figures out that life's not so fucking easy as she thought, because I made it fucking easy, because I took all the brunt, I took all the pain, I took all the stress of every fucking thing, and I made it seem like things weren't a big deal. We would have issues with maybe we didn't have quite enough money, but I'd always make it so that we had it, and we always had our bills paid, and I always made it so that nobody else had to stress about it, and no one else had to go without. I'd go do extra side jobs. I'd go do extra things to get extra money, and then I'd take that money and I'd put it towards what we needed so that everyone had what they needed. I would just cover everyone in an umbrella and protect them so that they didn't see all this shit that I had to deal with. But no, 16 years of taking in this 17-year-old who is facing charges for breaking her son's leg and doing all this shit and blaming everyone in her life for everything. Bringing her in, giving her a good life. And I know there were plenty of times when things were hard and tough, and that's what happens when I'm the person who I do things, and the only reason I do things to help people and do things for people. I don't do it for money. I don't do it for anything but appreciation. I want some fucking appreciation. I want someone to come and say, oh, I really appreciate things. Oh, really? Let me show you my appreciation. Let me show you how important you are to me. The fact that I could never get any time to actually talk to her about anything and never communicate about anything, everything would build up. All the stresses and all the anger and all the things would stress up and then build up. And then when she would agree to help me out with some of these things and say, oh yeah, I'll do this. And then she would never do it. And then it was even more stressful because now things are behind and now there's late fees and now there's whatever. Now things are delayed. It's like more fucking stress. Anyone would fucking explode. That's the problem with how I am, how I internalize, and I keep everything inside, and I internalize it, and I process it, and then once my cup is full, I just fucking can't handle it anymore. That's what the problem is when you have someone who won't fucking help you, and talk to you, and communicate with you, and just be there for you, and fucking appreciate all the shit you do. So, I fucking hate her! Everything I've ever done is always just make people happy and hope that and just try and get them to like me because of stuff. And it fucking every time people just get comfortable, then they expect me to just do everything. They're like, oh, Scott'll do it. He'll just do anything. He's reliable. Oh, I don't have to worry about it. Just Scott'll do it. No. Oh, Scott's really doing these great things and deserves so much. I mean, she bought me a bunch of Lego sets earlier this year that I liked, but she spent money that we didn't have for over $400 on these Lego sets, and then I had to figure out a way of paying for them. And okay, it's great, thank you for the thought of buying me these Lego sets, but you know how fucking stressful it is to all of a sudden have to come up with $400 to pay for something that someone bought for you? Why couldn't she have, during the week, each week, taken $20 out of the grocery list and put it aside and use that to buy me something? Or why couldn't she just fucking spent a day with me and been like, hey, you know what? I'm going to do things. I'm going to vacuum the house. I'm going to do the dishes. I'm going to watch the kids. You just relax. I'll give you a back rub. Why couldn't she fucking do that? There's no give and take. There was no compromise. It was always her way or fucking argument. And she's so fucking... Everything with her is internal. She will not express anything externally. She will not come out and say anything. She will just... If something bothers her, she won't fucking mention it. She won't talk about it. If something makes her happy, she won't... She's more likely to talk about if something makes her happy. But still not that much. And so I could take everyone somewhere, or I could buy her something nice as a just a token of appreciation, or we could go to a restaurant or something, and there could be something that she doesn't like. Maybe she doesn't like the restaurant. Maybe she doesn't like the thing I did. Maybe she doesn't like something I said, and she would never talk about it. But then we'd get into these arguments, and all of a sudden she would bring it up. And then I would be like defenseless because I don't even fucking remember it because it was one tiny little thing in a huge sea of life. And then she'd get mad at me and yell at me and scream at me. Well, she wouldn't scream, but she would do her thing. It was such a passive-aggressive, angry fucking thing, and be mad at me for all these things that I couldn't even fucking remember because they were so quick and small in the terms of life, and she didn't bring them to attention at the time. She didn't say, hey, you said that this and this, and I didn't really like that. That's the time to bring it up, because maybe what I said came off wrong, or she took it the wrong way, and at that moment, if she had brought it up, I could have sat down and thought about it and said, oh, I guess I can see how maybe that sounded that way. That's not what I meant. That's the fucking time to deal with shit. Not a month later when you're angry at the person and you just bring up everything. She brings up things like back in 2009 when we went to a bar and I just disappeared because I was so pissed off and angry and mad because I had just discovered that she had been cheating on me. And I had a freaking breakdown when we talked about this, and I was crying and telling her, you're upset by it every fucking day. I think about it because of how your family treated me, how you treated me, how everyone treated me, how it was such a fucking thing, and you're upset. You have PTSD from me just walking out of a bar without anyone noticing and disappearing because I'm upset. I could have fucking had a giant hissy fit, made a giant scene in front of everyone in your stupid ass small town, and I could have made this huge... Then you would have had PTSD because everyone would have known. But I always internalized everything and kept things quiet. And she had the fucking PTSD and is miserable about it because of her actions of cheating on me, and had no regard of my feelings or concerns. I mean, that's another thing. Like, we'd be in these discussions. It wasn't even an angry discussion, and I could say, well, I feel really upset, or I feel really sad, or I'm whatever I'm feeling because you did this or this. And then she wouldn't even say anything like, oh, I'm sorry you feel that, or I'm sorry I've done that to you, or I can see how that is, or I don't understand how you can feel like that, or anything. She would just instantly reply, well, I feel like you're just attacking me and telling me I'm a bad person and blah, blah, blah. It's like, okay, so you're completely invalidating everything I say. And then all these things I would say about how I felt like now she's invalidating me, how she's ignoring me, how I'm feeling invisible, how she's just treating me poorly. Then she would go and turn around and say every fucking word that I said to her about how I'm feeling and how I don't like things, and she would say the exact thing verbatim to other people because she didn't even have enough brain power to come up with her own things to talk to about other people. She would just say, hey, what he said was really good stuff. I'm going to use that to make and say it's all about him and make him look bad. Everything she's done, she's put back on me. Like, I scheduled a trip to go in December to see my stepmom in Boston for like 2 days. I asked Terry if it was a problem. She said it was no problem. And she asked me, why are you going? Are you seeing someone? And I'm like, yeah, I'm seeing someone. I'm seeing my stepmother. Who the hell else would I be seeing? Oh, are you dating someone? I'm like, no, I'm not fucking dating someone. It's such a proven thing that when someone is lying and cheating and being dishonest, they project all that on the other person, and then they accuse the other person of doing exactly what they're doing. And I didn't fucking see it because I'm just too loyal and trustworthy, and I fucking wish I had looked at her text messages more frequently and been that asshole who was paranoid and watching everything she was doing, because I wouldn't be in this situation right now. I would have been able to just get away from her so much easier. So sick of being used by these fucking assholes because, oh, he's this giving person. He just keeps giving and giving and giving and doing and doing and doing. If I don't do it, Scott will do it. He's always does everything. Well, fuck you. You're never gonna find anyone who goes to the extent that I went of making myself miserable trying to make everyone else happy and doing fucking everything I could in my power to keep the family together. You're never gonna find anyone like that. You're gonna have to do some fucking work. You're gonna have to have some responsibility. You're gonna have to start being a fucking adult and doing shit. Even through all of this, I'm still paying all the bills, taking care of the kids, making sure the kids have what they need. And all she's fucking doing is blowing the kids' savings, blowing her paychecks, and just having a fucking party. She got an attorney for free for somehow because she's claiming that she was abused and all this shit. I should be the one with a free fucking attorney because I've been getting fucking abused forever. Emotionally, mentally. But you know what? Even in those cases, I can still fucking manage to operate and manage life and get through things. I'm not so fucking stupid I can't even get roadside assistance work. I'm not so fucking stupid I can't figure out how to make a fucking phone call. Thanks for giving me my wallet, by the way. I knew you fucking had it. I'm not one of those fucking deadbeat dads who goes through this shit and just, it's too fucking hard and just fucking gives up because it's not worth it anymore. I'm not that. I am going to be fighting to the death to get my kids and to have everything best, because I know for sure that there's no way in hell my kids are going to have a good life with a person who has only ever held a job for maybe 9 months and doesn't even know how to fucking live in life. The first thing she does is she gets a little money from the kids' accounts and from her paycheck and just blows it. Okay, so what's going to happen when you suddenly have to pay taxes? And what's going to suddenly happen when you suddenly have to pay for your car insurance and you don't fucking have the money? What are you going to do? Because you don't plan for shit like that. And even if you do, your plans never work because you fucking screw them up. The only thing that's hard for me right now is time, because all I know is time is going to make things better. I'm going to feel better, and time is going to just roll on and unveil the truth, because once some time goes by and she screws up, it'll just all be revealed, and it will happen. It will happen. Everything is gonna just come collapsing down and fall apart, and it's just gonna happen. Everything's gonna just and I'm not gonna be there. I'm not going to be there to help. I'm not going to be there to watch. I'm not going to be there to give a shit. All I'm going to be there for is my kids, and I will come in, swoop in, and save my kids and give my kids everything that they deserve and make sure that they have the best life. That's what's going to happen. There's nothing else. There's nothing else in life. There's nothing else. Nothing. For me. It's just my kids. They're the only thing. Brenner's old enough that in a year or two he can just go on his own and move out and do what he wants to do. It won't happen, but he could. The little ones, though, this is what I didn't want. I wanted them to have a normal life. I wanted them to have a family that was together. I wanted them to have grandparents that were there. But I couldn't control the grandparents part. So my parents got divorced. Can't control that. But they're still involved in their life. And then there's Terry's fucked up family. I'd have them come around and see the kids and stuff, but I'd never leave them alone with them. I'd always walk around and follow them and watch what they're doing and make sure that they were safe because I didn't trust them. I mean, the things that Terry said about her dad and the things he's been doing lately, even the things that he did in the prison, it's like, my God. I guess she didn't fall far from the tree. I mean, my God. I mean, back in early October when she didn't bother calling me to tell me she was going to come home the next day and she got a hotel, and then I was accusing her of cheating on me and screwing someone and all this stuff. She told me nothing happened. I just slept in a hotel because I was too tired, and I didn't call you or say anything because I thought you wouldn't let me do it. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? If you had just called me and told me that that's what you were going to do, I would have been like, okay, thanks for telling me. But instead you told me nothing, and I called the cops because my fucking wife was supposed to come home at 10 o'clock, and all of a sudden she's not home, and I'm stressed out because who knows where the fuck she is, and anything could happen when you're like 100 miles away, and I was worried and concerned. But I asked her right then, what do you need to move out? What do you need help to move out, get a place? Oh, I don't want to move out. I want to stay with you. Yeah, my fucking ass you want to stay with me because I provided everything and I kept everything running and you knew I was reliable and you thought that as long as you covered it up and made it hidden that you were doing what you were doing, that you could always depend on me. And so when I filed for fucking divorce, I hope reality fucking struck. Right now she's having a party and screwing people and having so much fun, but reality is gonna hit. It's gonna fucking hit hard when she finds out that her attorney is not gonna just come in and say, oh yeah, you can have everything, when the attorney's like, that's not really how the world works. She's gonna realize that my attorney wasn't just trying to make her feel stupid. He was just doing what you legally have to do, and that you actually are stupid. How are you going to get the house if you can't even get a fucking mortgage on it? No one's going to give you a mortgage when you don't only have a month of fucking work history and you have no money for down payment. Nobody's going to give you any of that shit. We find that out real soon.